Goose is a 5-piece jam band from Connecticut who describe their sound as indie groove. The band draw inspiration from jam band greats such as Phish and Umphrey's McGee, as well as indie rock artists Vampire Weekend and Bon Iver. They are known for their creative covers, long improvised jams, and numerous live albums. Goose were one of the featured artists at Riverbend 2023, and just ahead of their set, WUTC's own Brent Stott had a chance to catch up with the band.
I'm Peter. I play keyboards, guitar, and I sing.
Rich. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm T. Blay, and I play bass and read poetry sometimes.
All right.
I'm Ben. People also call me Spuds, and I play drums.
Jeff. Bongos.
All right. But so where did you guys play last night? You had a show last night, right?
Cathead Jam.
Where's that?
It's in Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi. Did you guys drive through the night here?
Yeah.
Like, what time
our
did you
driver Rhonda drove us through the night.
All right.
Yeah, we slept while she drove.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you guys been to Chattanooga before?
No.
When you guys are in the South, is it typically like Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta. We've done Athens, Georgia. We've done like Birmingham, Alabama. You know,
right.
We've been around the area.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah. Nashville.
Cool.
Nashville.
Yeah. So like when you guys are touring now, do you guys have venues that you like more? Like what are some of your favorite venues that you're playing now?
The Dillon Amphitheater, is that what it's called?
That was pretty awesome.
In Colorado, was pretty sweet.
Radio City Music Hall is
Ooh,
definitely up there.
Wow, man. So we've been listening to a lot of your most recent live album, and I was kind of wondering, like, you guys record almost, is it every show you're recording the audio for?
We try.
Yeah. How do you decide like what is going to be a live recording that you're going to release? Is that something you go into a show with the idea of like, this is going to be one we're going to release?
Technically, every show is released.
Okay.
Just in different places. So like we have like all our live recordings on Bandcamp and nugs.net. So you can listen to any show and every show on those sites. And then like we kind of pick and choose stuff for Spotify.
Okay.
That's more selective. But you know, when it feels good, you know.
All right. Yeah. When did you guys start recording every show? Is that like from the beginning?
I mean, pretty more or less. We're early on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're just like mixing it yourselves and everything?
He was like content connoisseur from early on. He kind of, when he joined the band, he really started just like being hands-on and you know, grasping all the content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so like how many shows are you guys playing a year?
It's around like 80.
80?
You know? Yeah.
What's the most you've done in a year? Like, do you know?
I think around 110, something like that.
I think 2017. All
I
shows.
think around
Really?
80 to 90 now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's work.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
do like, I don't understand how some people do 200, 250. I don't really know how that works. But God bless them. You know?
Yeah.
Like when you guys got started, like was like touring full time? Was that something you guys were really like looking forward to do and like something you wanted to do?
I think it was definitely in the cards.
The first year in like 2017 when we started touring, we were pretty hungry. We just got a booking agent, or it's commonly referred to as the Throw Them to the Wolves tour.
Okay.
We were just like, you know, let's go and just, you know, book as many shows as you can. Obviously, you know, we had no profile at that point. No one knew who we were. And it was probably about 2 weeks before we were like, okay, got it. We need to go back to the drawing board here a little bit and really like think about this, because you get burnt up pretty quickly just going out there and playing to no one. And
Yeah. What are ways that you change to make it easier or more sustainable?
I think strategic routing and just starting to get advice from these bigger bands that we were starting to open for and get to know at the time. We kind of kept leveling up with management and connections, and every time we'd meet these new people and we'd kind of see how they're doing it and see which bands are sustaining and kind of try to follow in their footsteps.
All right, so it's like the grizzled veteran. They're like, kid, I'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah. There was a lot of people early on giving us advice, and
Yeah.
it was really helpful.
Yeah, no, it's got to be really, really important.
There was a lot of trial and error too. I think just like there's probably a lot of stuff
It's still happening.
that we know now that like if we'd known then probably would have changed things. I guess
For sure.
which I think is just part of the journey, just learning and adapting and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, changing with the leads.
Yeah. So like how many like weeks on are you guys like going at a time? Is it like, do you think about it that way? Is it like a few weeks on, a few weeks off?
Yeah, the way we kind of have some like rough guidelines for touring. Like we try not to be out for more than like 3 or 4 weeks at once without a little break in between. But that's also constantly changing as well.
Very much
Could look different in the future.
Yeah, very much trying to hone in on the right balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you've just joined us, you are listening to an interview with Rick, Ben, Trevor, Peter, and Jeff of the American jam band Goose. Conducted by WUTC host Brent Stott at Riverbend 2023.
You guys are going to Europe this year, aren't you?
Yes.
And have you guys toured in Europe?
No.
And
First time.
is this exciting? You guys like pumped for that?
Oh yeah.
And how many cities are you going to be doing?
12 or something, 12 or 13.
I think so. Yeah.
Like a few weeks, like 2 or 3
6
weeks?
different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's cool because like everything's pretty close together over there, so you know.
Right.
Man, do you have to do anything? Do you plan anything differently, like as far as like set list goes, when you're playing for a like completely different country, or is your
Good
demographic
question.
like?
I hope that Rick and Peter sing with British accents in the UK, but
We usually like write set lists kind of right before the show. Found like historically when we write them well in advance, it just we get into our heads and it becomes kind of like contrived and overthink things, and so it's kind of just become our process to write the set like within a few hours before we go on, typically.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be same deal over there, just kind of the feeling of like the energy, what we're feeling like, the band's feeling like with the room, the town, city we're in, whatever, all the put together, you kind of just go off of instinct, all
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Man, when you guys are putting together a set list and like you have like a ton of like original material that's awesome, and then you guys consistently like put out like covers that are like very surprising. Like I remember like we had somebody was playing like one of your YouTube like concerts on YouTube, and all of a sudden like I'm hearing the lyrics and I'm just like that's a national song. Like where did that come from? Like how do you guys choose what songs to cover?
So certain things just kind of like jump out at certain points. So sometimes like, there's a song that we all think is, there's kind of this like certain zone of things we do that we think is like epic, but also really funny. So there's a kind of a class of covers that we play that are, sort of a joke, but like a joke that we think is sweet,
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of cool songs out there that are also kind of funny.
Danger Zone.
So there's some of that, but then there's other, like the national thing, it's just like personal connections to songs, and sometimes you just hear something and you're like, oh, we should do this,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Band. Is the National, is that a band that you guys are like all fans of, or?
Yeah, that was actually, I learned about that song, I sat in with Jack Antonoff's set at Newport Folk last year or the year before, a couple years ago, and he we played that song and he did a really cool version of it, and then I kind of dug into their music a little more. I'd known about them for a while, but I never really dug in, and that was really great song.
Yeah.
Started playing it.
Band.
Yeah.
I think it's something that I personally really like about you guys and like your sound is that I kind of come at or sort of like entered like the jam band space coming out of more of like an indie rock, if that means anything like anymore, kind of like perspective, and then sort of like listening to you guys, and suddenly I'm just like, man, I like jam bands,
Cool.
And it's kind of not that I don't like tons of like just noodling, but it's a cool sound. You guys are, I feel like you're really covering ground that wasn't being covered. it's enjoyable. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, I've talked to so many people in town that are excited for the show. Chattanooga's definitely been looking forward to all of you guys. And we're all really pumped for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And man, I guess we can wrap things up pretty quickly, but I was just going to ask, we came back from the King Gizzard show last night at the Caverns. Are you guys familiar with that venue?
Yeah.
It's like in the cave.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played there?
We were supposed to play inside, but I forget what happened. We ended up playing outside.
Oh, okay, the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Which
or
was
that.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool vibe there.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's really fun. Yeah.
It was kind of a special show. It was a really good vibe there.
Cool. Were you guys playing like was it just like your own show there, or was
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's still like, I think it was summer 2021, so it was pods, still.
Oh right. I
Yeah,
forgot they did
wasn't
that.
fully
Socially
back.
distanced.
Yeah.
Socially distanced show. Yeah.
And any plans at all to do a in the cave show in the future? Would you guys be open to it?
Totally
It'd be
open.
sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
We went into this other cave and then they turned all the lights off and it was pretty spooky.
Yeah.
So maybe we
Yeah.
play in that one too.
Yeah.
Although like I went to the King Gizzard show, not really. We were covering it, and wasn't fully aware of what a King Gizzard live show was going to be like. So it was pretty spooky. Like honestly.
Was it in the cave?
Yeah, it was in the cave, man. It
That's
was
sweet.
wild. They're doing like a four night run up
Yeah.
there, and man, it's cool. But, well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, dude, we're excited for the show, so
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
we'll definitely be there.
Looking forward to it as well.
Thank you so much to Brent Stott and all of the guys of Goose for that interview recorded at Riverbend 2023. For WUTC, I'm Haley Solomon. Thanks for listening.